What if you have invested $1,000 in cryptocurrencies around 5 years ago? That's not that long ago, a year before the 2017 crash. How much your $1,000 would worth today? $1,000 in Bitcoin in 2016 would worth around $150,000. That is an insane rate of return. Stock market investors can't even dream about that kind of returns. How about Ethereum? How much would $1,000 invested in Ethereum would worth today? $273,000. Can you imagine that a $5,000 investment in Ethereum 5 years ago would have turned you into a multi-millionaire today? That's insane if you ask me. What could be better than that? I'm gonna tell you what's better than that. Dogecoin. I can't believe what I'm about to say because it sounds like a joke. Because it's supposed to be a joke, but it's not. Dogecoin has grown so much that a $1,000 investment in 2016 in Dogecoin would have turned to over $1 million. Instead of buying that brand new iPhone 7 in 2016, you could have purchased a Dogecoin for the same amount of money, and today you could have called yourself a multi-millionaire. Did your iPhone earn you $1 million since then? I don't think so. Let's get back to reality. There is no point in looking back and regretting because it's life and opportunities come and go. But the fact is, we are in the middle of a technological revolution that has the potential not only to change the financial industry, but pretty much everything else. If in 2017 it seemed impossible, today it seems like we are at that point of no return, especially when a crypto company finally went public. Just a year ago, it was impossible to imagine that we will have a crypto platform going public on the Nasdaq. For a long time, Bitcoin or cryptos were considered this little asset used only for undercover activities. Going mainstream was something not so easy to imagine, especially since the 2017 crash where a lot of people lost fortunes investing in Bitcoin and stayed pretty much far away from it. Coinbase is America's largest cryptocurrency exchange platform where you can buy, sell different kind of cryptocurrencies. But besides that, they offer online wallets where you can loan your Bitcoins to them and earn interest like you would do with US dollars with traditional banks, and a bunch of other services. But of course, their main source of revenue comes from transaction fees whenever you buy or sell cryptos. Coinbase stock spiked on the first day to the point where the company was valued at over $100 billion for a brief moment. That's a great start for a company that trades such a volatile asset such as Bitcoin. One of the biggest Coinbase investors is ARK Invest. Cathie Woods, the woman who believes so deeply in Tesla. Her prediction that Tesla would worth trillions once its self-driving technology is ready. We have done an entire video about that, check the link in the description. She also predicts that it's just the beginning for Coinbase and it will only grow. No wonder why ARK invested $64 million in Coinbase. Coinbase is making trading Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies easy and simple. The company has around 56 verified users so far. If we want Bitcoin to be mainstream, it should be easy to use and pass government regulations. But on the other hand, transaction fees are a bit too high, which is against what Bitcoin was made for initially. Because the point of Bitcoin was to create a decentralized system where everyone can send or receive money anonymously without the middleman. And Coinbase is literally that middleman, a bank for cryptos. Even your online wallet is like a bank account. I'm not trying to criticize Coinbase now, I'm just saying how technology has evolved over time. Of course, you can send your Bitcoins from an online wallet to your cold wallet and keep them safe and secure from all these online wallets. We actually made an entire video explaining how to buy Bitcoin, how to store them, and the pros and cons of using an online wallet. And what is the safest way to store your Bitcoins? The link will be in the description. But you know what's more fascinating than that is the fact that Dogecoin soared to a record high by more than 400%. I still can't get my head around it. Literally, what started as a meme is now worth billions of dollars. Dogecoin started as a joke, like an internet meme. It was never meant to be anything serious. But Dogecoin's capitalization crossed $5 billion by the end of January. Imagine you create a meme, and then that meme turns into $5 billion. That's probably the most expensive meme in the world. And then the world's richest person keeps tweeting about it till it grows to dozens of billions of dollars. And in the last few days, Dogecoin's capitalization crossed $52 billion. Honestly, I'm shocked to say the least. It seems so unreal that I just can't believe it. But whether I like it or not, it doesn't matter. That's what's happening. These are the facts on the ground. I think the excitement around Coinbase's IPO drove so many new investors to buy different kind of cryptocurrencies that it inflated the entire market. Even Bitcoin is trading at around $64,000 at the time of this script. Whatever is happening to cryptos now is definitely not sustainable. We have already talked in a previous video about why the entire market, including cryptos, will most likely experience a correction or a crash. Because right now we are in that situation where trillions are pumped into the economy, and the Fed knows that if it stops pumping so much money into the economy, the economic machine could stop. And reloading the economy is much more difficult and expensive than keeping it rolling at the expense of inflation. So the Fed is watching from a side to raise interest rates and stop that inflation whenever it seems like we're back on track and there is no fear of another COVID case spike. That doesn't mean that cryptos will crash to zero, and that's the end of Bitcoin. No, that's not the point. The IPO of Coinbase is a clear evidence that from now onwards, cryptos will just keep growing. But like any other technology, it's still at its initial phase. Some enthusiasts think that Bitcoin is at its peak, and I disagree with that. I think we need around 10 or 15 years to see the real fruits of blockchain or overall cryptocurrencies. And before that happens, the technology is going to go through a lot of volatility. That could mean many more crashes. It could mean a lot of more spikes. But as the demand grows, the trend is definitely going to go upwards. The fact that there is a limited number of Bitcoin, for example, already means that we can't adjust the supply based on demand. More demand while there is a limited number of supply means higher prices. That's basic economics. But the fact that we have so many cryptocurrencies coming out and are valued at insane valuations is similar to what happened back with the internet, where we had websites such as pets.com that also had insane valuations. Not to say that Dogecoin is going to fail or anything like that, but only time will tell. However, often when a small crash happens to an asset that's not stable, such as cryptocurrencies now, they can shake the market pretty hard and cause a snowball effect where it will scare off investors and prices will plummet much more than they should. Anyways, if you guys have enjoyed this video, you will most definitely enjoy this custom playlist that I have created specifically for you that has our most popular videos on business, investing, and the stock market that could potentially change your life. And now, give this video the thumbs up that it deserves and make sure to subscribe if you haven't done that yet. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.